podcast. I'm your host, Jeremiah Queen. Of course, before we get started with today's episode, I would like for all my viewers out there on YouTube to hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so they can stay up to date when new videos drop on the channel. Also, if you're listening on podcast app like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or even Spotify, go subscribe to the podcast. And let's go ahead and get started with the heroes and zeros from week 7. Our first hero is going to be Lamar Jackson with his 357-yard, 3-touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown performance against the Detroit Lions. I think Lamar Jackson is playing at MVP level. I don't think enough people talk about how well he's playing. I mean, he's completing over 70% of his passes. It's the highest of his career, and he's consistently putting out a good product. Even when he lost against the Steelers, they had, I think, 5 to 8 drops in that game. It could have been 10 drops in that game. Because I know Nelson Aguilar had a drop. The rookie Zay Flowers had multiple drops. And Rashad Bateman dropped a pass in the back of the end zone. I think Lamar Jackson is actually playing a really, really good football. I don't think people talk about it enough. The Ravens are sitting at 5-2. Currently the number 3 seed in the whole scheme of things, in the whole playoff picture. I think the Ravens are a team that most people are not. They don't really know how to look at them because they lost to the Steelers. Bengals are in their division. People are seeing the Bengals catch a little fire coming down the stretch. But I think the Baltimore Ravens are a really good team, and the reason why they are playing at the high level is because Lamar Jackson is playing at the MVP level. So first hero, second hero, I'm gonna have. Let's get a giant in there. Tyrod Taylor with his 200 plus passing yards and 2 touchdown performances against the Washington Commanders. I understand, well, the Giants didn't really play that good football game. It was 14-7. I think Tyrod Taylor did what he had to do and manage the game and play well enough. Just don't turn the ball over. And he didn't do that. I think Giants fans, and if I would give a message to the Giants, not Giants fans, the organization as a whole, I think that Tyrod Taylor needs to be the starting quarterback going forward. I only say this because Daniel Jones has been reverted himself back into a turtle machine, and Tyrod Taylor has kept you in both games. So you won against the Washington Commanders game, but in the Buffalo Bills game, you had a chance. I mean, you could argue that if he doesn't have a mishap in the first half and they call for pass interference, they get another shot at it in order to win the game in week 6. I think Tyrod Taylor is playing really good football, and it sucks because the Giants organization are trying to prove themselves right about Daniel Jones being a franchise quarterback. When everybody knows Daniel Jones is not a franchise quarterback, he had a okay season in 2022, and they're making that, and they gave him a contract that I still think they overpaid for. At the end of the season, especially since the Giants are 2-5 and still have a chance to get that 7th seed if they can catch fire. I think at the end of the season, they will realize that they overpaid for Daniel Jones and won't actually need him going forward and probably go get a new QB. So you have your heroes. Now you got to talk about your zeros. This is a guy who's been in the league for a long time, happens to play with the Raiders, and that's Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, this is the reason why he's been a backup for so long and never really been a starting quarterback because he's just not good. I still don't understand why. First of all, he lost against a rookie Division II quarterback in Tyson Bagent, who is most known for what his father did at being a 6-time arm wrestling champion. Okay, he's not that good, and yet you still lost to a guy in his first NFL start. It's horrible, and the big reason why is because they started Brian Hoyer, who has not proved to us. I think he's lost 13 straight games. He's lost. You heard me. 13 straight games Brian Hoyer has lost in the NFL at him being a starting quarterback. I don't know why I thought Mike McDaniels thought it was going to change now. I would have put in the rookie Aiden O'Connell, the guy who has showed promise in the preseason, and even in his one start against the Chargers, had a chance to win at the end of the game, ended up throwing an interception. But that zero has to go to Brian Hoyer, a quarterback who's known for being a backup and always to stay a backup. And I don't understand why you start a guy who has, going into week 7, lost his 12 straight starts, and now it's up to 13. So the week 7 MVP will have to go to Browns pass rusher Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett had 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. One of those forced fumbles ended up being a touchdown, and they only won by essentially a touchdown score against the Indianapolis Colts. I think Myles Garrett has been a enforcer and an energizer for this Browns team, and is probably one of the biggest reasons why they're 4-2, especially since they're having quarterback problems. Deshaun Watson left the game in concussion protocol. They say he was clear, but they never put him back in the game. And PJ Walker, yet again, helped mold his team to another victory. These Cleveland Browns team is very resilient. Even though they're in second place and third place in their division, with the Steelers and the Ravens winning, I still believe that the Browns are a team in the discussion for a wild card seed going to the second half of this season. And then let's relax a little bit. And let me talk to you. Welcome to the Timeout Corner. If this is the first time you come into the Timeout Corner, it's when I call out a team or a coach for nonsense in this week's games. And this example will be Week 7. The team that's coming to the Timeout Corner is the Raiders. The Raiders are a franchise that just cannot seem to win games that should be gimmies. The Bears didn't have their starting quarterback. They were starting a rookie in Tyson Bagent that played Division II football. Not Division I, Division II. And you could say, well, it doesn't really matter where you played at, as long as you could play football. Well, apparently he could play a little bit, but he was just like a world beater out there. So now in 2 years as being a Raiders head coach, Mike McDaniel has lost to the Jeff Saturday Colts. And Jeff Saturday only won 1 game as a head coach with the Colts last year. And now you lost to a Division II quarterback that was making his first career start in the NFL. The Raiders are 3-4, and there's a lot of questions to be asked about their quarterback situation, the receiver situation when Devontae Adams are talking about not getting the ball enough, and also, is Mike McDaniel an actual good coach? We're still trying to figure that out. We'll see what happens going into next week. But as of now, they are under 500, and the Raiders, I don't want to be in that situation. It's time for the upset of Week 7, and I'll go to the New England Patriots and their victory over the Buffalo Bills. The Patriots have been spiraling out of control, and their offense just seems stagnant, and they can stale, stagnant, whatever term you want to use. The Patriots have not been able to they're not able to score points at all. And they showed me something. At least for 1 week, they showed me that they're competent. They have something Mac Jones can play. I believe Mac Jones can play, but I just think everything had to come together in order for Mac Jones to succeed as a quarterback, because he is a little bit above average quarterback, but he needs more help around him in order to do so. And their victory over the Buffalo Bills, it just kind of shows me the Buffalo Bills almost lost to the Giants, and now they lost to the Patriots. And you let Mac, and that let's just say it, that Sean McDermott's defense let Mac Jones go on a game-winning drive. If you're going to be the defensive coordinator, if you're going to be the defensive-minded head coach, you got to be able to stop, especially when your quarterback pushed the offense into the situation to take the lead. It was pathetic. It was something that should never have happened. But kudos to the Patriots for the biggest upset in Week 7. And because if you're still watching this video, I would like for you to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, so you can stay up to date when new videos drop on the channel. Also, you can follow me on my social media pages at the Football Corner Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next time.